now listening to
Whoa.
the Queen's Table with Jai Indigo. Yeah. Serving royalty on hyperadio.com.
Hey. Welcome all. It's your girl Josh, the Queen's Table on hype-radio.com. You are in for a treat this evening. This Thursday, I have a special guest. Actually, let me tell you this. We're going to do a roundtable discussion. Now, usually we have drip sessions. Usually we have an artist on here. But if we go back in time, there was a time when we used to have these discussions. And so we're bringing it back. So I want to welcome the beautiful, the multi-talented Eliza D to the Queen's Table. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. It's so dope to be here. Yes, my applause. It's so dope to be here. I'm so excited. I really am excited to be able to have this conversation with my people tonight who are very understanding of it, so we'll be passionate, and I'm just ready to get into it.
Absolutely. We're going to definitely do that. Now, I also have sitting in my guy. This is Shadow.
Hey.
Now, you know, normally he does the spotlight, but he decided to sit in.
I get to sit at the Queen's table. Ooh, I feel royal.
He's going to join the conversation with us because we are talking about something near and dear to Sacramento. So I want to get all perspectives as we have this conversation tonight. We are going to be speaking to what's going on here in the Sacramento area, but it's actually going on all around with gentrification and other things that are occurring within the community, within the black community. Am I on and kicking? Is she on?
Make sure you check it.
We thought we were.
We good.
Yes, all right,
Making
fantastic.
sure.
We just
It's
want to make
supposed
sure
to be
that everybody can hear us on hype-radio.com. Definitely want to thank everybody that is tuned in to us on Facebook and on IG Live. Thank you. Make sure you tell a friend to tune in. We're going to go ahead and jump right on in. I want to first start off by saying Happy Black History Month.
Yes, Happy Black History Month.
Yes. Now, we are Black History 24/7, 365 all the time.
You can't help it. Always is black.
This is all the time, but you know we got to pay respect to the month that is ours.
Definitely.
We got our 28 days.
We got our 28 days this month, huh?
28 days. We're going to
Wow.
utilize them 28 days.
We are going to make the best of it. All right, so let's go ahead and jump right on into it. Eliza, now you've been on our show before.
Yes, I have.
Now, the last time that she was on the show, she was actually bringing to us the Sacramento Community Choir. She actually, this is something that she created.
Yes.
And it's actually was doing very well. I followed you guys along the journey. I know you guys are still
we
alive and
we
kicking.
just started back on Tuesday.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes, they sound amazing. So if you don't know anything about the Sacramento Community Choir, I don't know why you wouldn't, but if you don't, make sure you follow the Sacramento Community Choir. But today, she's on another part of her journey. She's also a community activist. I gotta say, she's also a singer.
Yes.
And she does so much. She's very active in the community. But we're gonna focus on what you're doing right now. So let's get into what you have going with the Speak Out Oak Park. What's that all about?
Dope. So Speak Out Oak Park is about the black life within Oak Park from about 1950s to now, or 1940s to now. We're talking about the history of what it was then and what it is now, what it is in regards to gentrification, what it is in regards to black on black crime, over policing, housing discrimination, false police complaints happening by the opposite race due to lack of cultural difference. It's about everything and our stories being able to talk about it. Also, the most important part of it is about the young boys who have come from prison and now are adults that now want to tell their stories to younger boys, because this generation of young thugs is a hot mess.
Oh, out of control.
So we definitely are trying to push that issue of healing and by community for community.
Okay. Sounds good to me. Sounds good. I definitely love that. Now, I want to first let the people know where you're from. Our people like to know exactly where we're all from. So where are you from?
I'm born and raised Stockton, California.
Okay.
And migrated to San Diego, went to San Diego for 8 years, and I went there and followed my music career and all of my successes that I've gained now. And then from San Diego, I've been in Sacramento.
Okay, all right. Now, I know the Speak Out Oak Park is pertaining to Oak Park.
Specifically
Do
Oak
you
Park.
live in Oak Park as well?
Yes, I live in
Okay.
Oak Park. I've been there for almost 2 years, or a little over 2 years now. So I'm excited about that.
Okay, all right. Now, as far as the movement goes, and what you're actually trying to do now,
I'm just gonna talk some shit real quick because
go
that
ahead.
kind of made me relax a little bit because I was like, don't come in here talking pro Oak Park
And not
and
be
you
in there.
live in Greenhaven.
Right.
Just don't
Yeah.
do that.
Because that's what's going on in
That
there
took,
now.
that took some weight off my shoulders. All right, I'm getting there. We get it. Let's go.
All right. Now, as far as what you're looking to see with the Speak Out Oak Park, now the movement that's happening, do you have people also supporting you that are from Oak Park as well? Any, like the
Yes.
OGs or?
Yes, we
I
have
know Kevin
plenty of
Johnson
OGs.
is actually part of this. What's happening now? I don't know where you guys stand, but is he also part of what you're doing with the Speak
He
Out
is
Oak
not.
Park?
He
Okay.
hasn't been approached yet to be on Speak Out Oak Park. A few people want him to be on Speak Out Oak Park, but will he be on Speak Out Oak Park is the real question. So the community is very
don't think he
interested
will. It
in.
don't turn
the
Say
community-
what?
what'd
What you say?
I don't think he will. It doesn't turn a dollar.
It doesn't turn a dollar.
And that is very true, with especially with this coming from my pockets, our community, us doing it on our own to really make the change. You know, it's a lot of shun to it. But yeah, in regards to KJ, he hasn't reached out yet, but his people have said he's interested in being on it. So we'll
Is
see.
that right? Okay.
Well,
we'll
then,
see.
KJ, let's go ahead and put this out. Come to Hype Radio.
Well, you know what? I actually extended an invitation out to him, KJ, and I'm waiting for your people to get with me, not with my people,
I'll tell you what I'm
but to
waiting
get
for.
with me.
I'm waiting for 7 days in a row. Good food from Fixins. I don't have to walk in and wait for a certain chef to be in there to eat good.
Now that is true.
Kevin, let's work that out, bro. Stop playing.
So you said you have support of
Yes.
the OGs in the area as well, and definitely want to give them a shout out to know who's working with you on this collaboration.
Definite. Give a huge shout out to Michael Benjamin, Uncle Bobo, Uncle Watt, man, Mr. Blackwell, Salah Hassan. Everybody out there is helping us. Like, we have so many families.
You know somebody named Uncle Bobo?
Yes, I
Uncle
do.
Bobo.
That's Uncle Bobo.
And what was the other one?
Uncle Watt.
Uncle who?
Uncle Watt.
It sounds like she's saying what, like
Uncle
Like
Watt.
Doodle.
Uncle
Watt.
Watt. Walter
Watt.
Anderson. Yeah, he
Okay.
did the Merle. He did the Merle at the big park.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But you gotta say it country. Uncle
Right.
Watt.
Okay, I'm French, and I was like, Uncle Watt? Little Asian dude in the P? Uncle Watt?
We ain't trying to mess up your name, Uncle
I need
Watt.
some Charmaine.
Nope. They trying to play
We
with you,
just-
Uncle Watt.
we just trying to
Because he will make
clarify.
you put respect on his name.
I
okay?
understand it. We
He
just
will
trying to
make you.
clarify. That's all.
I give respect, but I just got to hear it clearly.
Right. So they are behind you in
Yes.
support of the Speak Out Oak Park
documentary.
Now I know I've watched some of what you're doing on the page. I know you're interviewing them as well, and I'm sure that they have a lot of stories
Yeah, they
and a
do.
lot of history because they are pillars there in the
Definitely.
community. Is there anything that really reached out to you as far as speaking to the history of Oak Park? Was there anything that reached out to you that you'd like to share with us?
Definitely. I'd say the whole thing. People are ready to talk about what it was in the beginning, how diverse it was, the home ownerships, how they owned homes, how they had a little easier capability to be able to regain some kind of freedom.
Yeah.
And then now they're talking about how they've been separated. They want to talk about how the school to prison system has changed them.
Yeah.
Yes,
Prison
they
school
want to talk
pipeline.
about their stories of how this gang street violence has affected them within Oak Park.
Yeah.
They also want to talk about all the uprising that's happening, all the different organizations and black individuals within the community that are actually making change from youth to adult.
Yeah.
They're ready to talk about everything.
Right.
But the main thing that's really good that is all community Oak Park is baseball.
Right.
That is them.
That's
Little League,
baseball?
yes, is
Okay.
baseball. Little League, that is them, and that's
Yeah.
one of their favorite stories that they like to talk about. That's what brings shine to their faces, excitement to their faces, to their just become familiar with everyone. They
Right.
love baseball.
Well, bring me up to speed because where I'm from Vallejo, and North Vallejo, we were really big on baseball. North Vallejo Little League, that's it. That's what we're known for. So we got CC Sabathia coming up out there. There's a lot of other, Joey Thurston. So we got some names coming out there. Teach me, because I want to know, since now I know Oak Park is baseball, are there any prominent players that came out of there that you know of that they share with you?
We got Mr. Blackwell.
Okay.
We got Mr. Blackwell's 3 sons.
Oh.
They all played baseball. They all went pro baseball.
Okay, shout out to the Blackwells.
Yes, definitely. The Crumps as well. They taught Little League. We got Mr. Uncle Bobo, who taught Little League there as well, and half of the community is under Little League there.
Okay.
They love it, and that's one of their biggest fights right now, is to get that opened back up.
Yes. Now, so the games were at the big park.
Yeah.
The big park, to be sure, is behind the Guild, right? Is that the big park?
It is behind Broadway. It's McClatchy Park, pretty much.
That's the name of it. Okay.
We were trying to.
It's McClatchy. Yeah, it's
McClatchy.
McClatchy.
I was like, I know what park that is, but I kept throwing names. She's like, no, that's not it.
And I don't know. Who am I to say?
The Black Panthers' office was right next to it.
Is that right?
Right across
Okay.
the street.
Okay. Well, teach me something. Now, I have to say, I stayed when I first moved out here from the Bay Area, I did move to Oak Park. That is exactly where I came, early 2000. I was right off of MLK. I was in the trenches of it, off of 23rd, 24th, somewhere in there. So, and it was real hood. But it was pretty usual to where I come from. So I adjusted quite well. But I do notice the difference now.
Definite.
As early 2000, it was very different. And I'm kind of getting into the gentrification that's taking place.
Definite.
So gentrification, for me, it's a good thing, and it has its bad parts to it as well. Good that we're bringing the community up to par with resources and businesses and making it look better. Bad on the side that it does affect minorities, and it can push out the minorities if the resources aren't given to them to stay there and to improve their homes and maybe give them tax credits and things like that.
And the specific thing that has happened with Oak Park is that gentrification is to make things new. What Oak Park has decided to do is, I'm going to make things new by denial of a race. So that is what our Oak Park has chosen to do. Everywhere has chosen to do this in regards to gentrification, is to push out their idea of the lesser.
Yeah.
So right now, currently, the affordable income, the rate that they believe we are supposed to have as affordable, is between $35 and $38. There is no one paying that.
No.
But, I mean, there is no one earning that but doctors.
Yeah, exactly.
But high-class students.
Right.
That got mommy and daddies.
Right.
So
what's the average minimum wage? $14, $15?
About $13. About about $13, and they're just now getting it to go to 15. But still, that is, people are still having a hard time living, especially in this time. The only career jobs out are the only jobs out right now are like mall jobs or little small jobs, but there's no career jobs for people to be sustainable and to live off of. And Oak Park is being affected by that tremendously in all areas, trickling down from UC Davis to the new hospital in Oak Park.
Yeah.
And even still, with minimum wage going up, it's great in a sense, but all they're doing is raising the price of everything else.
Everything else is
if you
going
couldn't
up.
afford it at $12 an hour, they didn't raise the
You're not
price, so
gonna
you're
be
not going to be able to afford it at $15 an hour.
Exactly.
Right.
And if they expect,
And I get taxed harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. The more money you make, the more you tax.
It's gonna go up.
Yep.
Along with all the property taxes that affect the housing as well. So it's just a cycle of everything that they do, and they create a cycle. But gentrification is not just it's not just a plan of only developing. You have to gentrify the mines. You have to gentrify the communities. You have to gentrify the streets. You have to allow certain behaviors so things can be able to give you an easier push out. And that is what's going on. They're being very strategic with Oak Park on how they can get rid of the lesser in their idea.
So let me ask you this, with the Speak Out Oak Park, what are your primary objectives? What's the goal, and what do you want to see done, and by what time? Do you have a timeline on that?
The focus with Speak Out Oak Park is to create healing for the Black community and exposure to the white. It is to create healing so that we can be able to say our truths, and someone's going to hear us.
Right.
Someone's going to hear our stories with what is exposed, and they're going to have to come in and revamp. Because like our brother Hampton said, the revolution does not stop.
Right.
So something has to change, and the story is how they change it. They got white ones coming in the neighborhood all the time trying to get our story.
Yeah.
And so what they're trying to do currently, right now with Speak Out Oak Park, is shut Oak Park up. We have a court order over Speak Out Oak Park, a court date, May 14th.
Is that right?
They don't want the stories to be told.
What?
It's a real thing.
Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tell me how it even got to this point. Now, I'm going to say this. I do follow you, and I do follow the stories of the things that are going on and the discrimination and the injustices that you experienced.
Mm-hmm.
I want to pause for a moment. We'll get back to how we got to the court date, but I want to talk about the experiences that you've had with the unfair housing. Is this playing a part into the Speak Out Oak Park as well?
Definitely. So the reason that I got into gentrification, with Oak Park, because I started in county first. So the
You used to work for county?
Yes,
Okay.
I worked in county fair housing.
Okay.
So
All right.
now that I'm a fair housing advocate first.
Okay.
I love housing.
So
And-
now it makes all kind of
Yes.
sense. Okay.
So now that I'm in Oak Park, and just from my housing crisis right now, I've been harassed by my white downstairs neighbor since October 2019. The city is aware. I immediately did my campaigning. I immediately reached out to the city officials, start giving them letters every 2 weeks to
Yeah.
let them know what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm currently now organizing my neighborhood in regards to Speak Out Oak Park so that they can understand what black people go through in the community. So I'm making a wide spread so that we can create change.
Right.
Also getting ourselves invested in creating assembly bills so that it will have to be forced into Oak Park for people of color.
Right. Now, speaking of, you said it's been happening since October. Now, obviously, lady downstairs don't know who she messing with because we got somebody from the county. She knows the rules and regulations, okay? You
Yeah.
hear me? So she don't know who she messing with. So she didn't expect the repercussions and what's going on. So she's taken aback, I'm sure, by
Definitely.
everything, and everybody around is like, what in the
Definitely.
hell? But this is good.
Yeah, it really is.
Because-
It's positive to my spirit.
Yeah, and the simple fact that there's a lot of people that don't know what to do and that have been in your situation. Now, if you could explain a little bit, when you say harassed, what exactly has been happening? What were
Definite.
we experiencing?
I've been being stopped, having cameras at my front doorstep. She's come up to my front doorstep. She's been caught at 4 a.m. flipping off my camera. She'll run over all my protest flyers. She stalks all day, every day. She has numerous family members and friends trying to stalk all day, every day.
Oh my goodness.
She's stalked all of my friends and family coming. Anybody who comes to visit me that parks in my parking designated space, she'll threaten to tow their car. She goes the extra mile to make sure that I'm uncomfortable. But by proof and investigation, she's done it to the last 4 tenants. And because they've been watching my fight on social media, they've reached out to me to join me.
That's good.
The last 4 tenants that live there.
Good. Wow. What now? Were they all minorities too?
No, some were, and some were not.
Oh my goodness. Now,
So
and
she just touched in the head.
it sounds like it.
Definitely.
Now, as far as the landlord is the landlord of all the units there? Because I know sometimes it can be
There's
different
only
people.
2 units there.
Okay.
And the area is Oak Park community is the one who's told me what my neighborhood is called. It's called the high class area. It's the white class area. And so they said that area has always been under attack for gentrification, as it has. The city granted half of those homeowners grants, so that for a price of nothing, so that they can revamp that house, raise the rents, kick out the lesser, and bring in the income that they wanted. Half of all the homes on the street. So that is what's going to be a part of Speak Out Oak Park, because these are the forms of gentrification. They not only they don't not only change development, they reach the realtor. They allow the landlord more benefits. That's why housing is pro-landlord. They have to be able to push through these laws to allow excess drama to continue to happen. Now, tenants have so many protections, but because the law is so pro-landlord and half of our leaders are landlords, the tenant gets no support.
Wow.
Gang.
And that is really crazy, because I'm thinking, my thought with gentrification is exactly what you're saying that's happening in the white neighborhood section of Oak Park, that they provide that to the lesser so they could be able to improve their homes
Definite.
and still stay in the area.
But let me tell you, there's no reason that they would want to come into our neighborhood if it wasn't rich and flourishing.
Right.
We made it rich and flourishing.
Right.
So they want it back now.
Right.
Because they can't do it by themselves.
Right. And it's prime real estate, honestly.
Exactly.
Because if you go through your history, At one point in time, Oak Park was the upper echelon part
Yeah.
of Sacramento to stay in.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
I've heard that, and it's a
Yeah.
trip because when I moved there, honey boo, it was not looking like no upper echelon
When I
at
was-
all.
When I was coming up, you didn't go in the P unless you lived there.
Right.
And still to this same day, which I love.
Mhm.
If they don't know you and they see you at the store, they ask you who your mama, who your family.
Right.
Like I love that because they know each other so much.
Right.
They become a community so much that
Right.
if they don't know who you are, it's like,
Yeah.
what are you here for?
What are you here for? And it's like that across the states, because you got gentrification that's happening. You got it in D.C. You got it
Everywhere.
happening in Texas. You
Everywhere.
got it happening
Georgia.
in Miami. Yeah, you got it happening. So
It's
you have
happening
it.
big time
It's
in Atlanta.
Yeah, it
Big
is.
time in Atlanta.
And it's the same conversation, though.
Mhm.
You know, the minority community where we had this, it's just ripping it. To me, it's just ripping so much of the unity that we even had, the little bit that we have
Mhm.
within our families. Now you're tearing away the neighborhood. It's just making us so
Definite.
distant. I hate
Definite.
it.
It's detaching us.
It's detached. But I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
Definitely behind you 1,000%. Now, I do want to talk about as far as the attention that you're
Mhm.
getting. Now, right now, you said that you got a court date.
Yes.
What happened that led up to the court date?
So my downstairs neighbor, the concept of Speak Out Oak Park came from the harassment that I was receiving at that home.
Mm-hmm.
So I said I can't be the only one going through this by a white person in Oak
Right.
Park.
Mm-hmm.
So once I started my documentary, of course I learned from over 33 families now that the same activities are going on in different forms. So that's what the docuseries is based off
Okay.
of what we're going through as black people in our housing. So she put a restraining order against me and a court order against Speak Out Oak Park. She doesn't want to be, and the way that it was written, it was not written by herself.
Mm-hmm.
Someone else helped her. She wants it to be removed from all streaming platforms and all social media platforms. But I'm in communication with the sergeants,
Mhm.
Sacramento Police Departments.
Right.
I'm in communication with my community leaders,
Mm-hmm.
and they've all informed me that there's nothing that she can really do about that because this is First Amendment. This is us sharing our stories.
Yeah.
This is a protest considered to them. This is not a protest to me,
Right.
but this is a protest considered to them.
Right.
So this is freedom of
Freedom
speech.
of speech. Right.
And so there's nothing that she can really do in regards.
Right.
But my community plans to stand with me on my court date, May 14th at 8:30, in regards to Speak Out Oak Park because they're trying to stop our stories.
Yeah.
So I got a question because one of his favorite things is to say that because he was raised in Oak Park.
Mm-hmm.
Has Captain Hahn reached out to you?
Definitely. Has not reached out to me, but I've communicated with him in regards to my housing situation on how we can work as a community to create cultural
Now,
difference.
what is Captain Hahn, who was raised in Oak Park?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Roseville Police Captain, now Sac PD Police Captain.
Mhm.
Okay.
What is? I mean, how is? He should be the first one at your door talking about what can I do.
He's not responding at all. There's
Of
actually
course.
only Matt Young, who was the sergeant of the Sacramento City Police Department, who was communicating with me, who was a white man.
Okay, well, Mr. Hahn, you come on, man. You need to step out and because this is ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
If that lady is doing all that paperwork and everybody's saying there's nothing she can do, Captain Hahn, this should be the platform that you should get on because this sounds like a win.
Definite. It sounds like a win, and it sounds like harassment just bluntly to his people.
Come on, Police
Yeah.
Captain Hahn.
And we need him to
let's
stand
do
up
this.
and acknowledge it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
It's-
sure.
Come
Yeah.
on, stand up. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely. So I believe that the community is just ready to speak out now, and we have interviews set all day, every day in regards, and just what I'm going through is God just gave it to me to start this process.
Mhm.
This she has nothing to do with me. What she's doing to me has nothing to do with me.
Right.
The message and the focus and the point that we need to tell our stories
Right.
is why I'm doing this.
She might want to be kind of glad she chose you
Mm-hmm.
because she could have chose somebody
Like you?
who wasn't really into the social media and didn't have a camera in the front door and
Right.
at no moment was worried about not coming out and
Right.
slanging your ass, dog walking you across the
That
parking lot.
part.
Mm-hmm.
Like that'll shut you up.
Right.
Definite.
Yeah.
And all the community, the police officers are nice to me, which I know is a setup, and the community leaders are being nice to me because of my position now, and I don't not speak out. I don't not say what's on my heart, and this is a political fight to me, which our rights is not political, But this is a political fight to me, and though they realize that, so
Mm-hmm.
they are actually standing by me 100%.
Right. Now, as far as having the people behind you, I actually see that you've been campaigning to have people
Yes.
join your campaign.
Yes.
How has that been going with getting people to stand behind you and even having like endorsements or having the support financially, because you're putting a documentary together,
Definite.
so there's cost involved
Yes,
in that.
there is.
How is that going? And shoot, if we can, let's go ahead and get some support behind
Yes,
you with that.
Definite. Me and Chevy
KJ,
actually.
pay attention.
Yes. Me and Chevy actually fund the whole documentary. I funded
Wow.
majority of the whole process
Mhm.
and all the AV work. Chevy is there to assist. She's been my homie, my ace, my A1 since the day.
Dope.
Shout out
Since
Chevy.
the,
Yes.
yes, shout out Chevy Lights, man, Black AV Tech.
Mm-hmm.
And she has been rocking with me from the beginning, and we are the team. And we just added Sparkle, who is from Oak Park, to be like our community liaison. But other than that, we fund everything in regards to Speak Out Oak Park. We have asked people for donations. We recently just put them on our flyers
Okay.
to see if people want to provide donations. It's our Cash App of Level
Yeah.
Up Performing. If you guys want to donate to us, that'd be dope, because we have funded this for 8 months so far on our own. And we love it. We love it. We love y'all, so that's why we continue to do it. But the support would be great.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we definitely support you 1,000% in what you're doing. I'm definitely
Thank
glad
you.
that you came by and lit us and brought the attention
Yes.
of what's going on. Now, I do want to also, since you're doing the interviews, I'd like to know what are some of the concerns that people have brought up to you. I know they want to share your story,
Mhm.
but are you hearing a trend of concerns?
Mhm.
Anything that they are just really wanting to stand firm on?
Mm-hmm. Things that people really want to stand firm on are mental illness within Oak Park. They want more resources for mental illness within Oak Park,
Yeah.
which is understandable.
Yeah.
Our community is traumatized, so that's where our mental illness comes from. So we need more of those resources. Instead, they're killing us when we have mental breaks.
Mhm.
So we need the mental illness resources. Oak Park is really big on just wanting some assistance with gentrification in the open.
Mhm.
We have a lot of people who are pro-housing that don't live in Oak Park.
Yeah.
And I sit in those meetings and I tell them exactly what the community said they want.
Mhm.
And they say, well, let's create safer ways to do things.
Mhm.
But this is what they ask of you to do. You said, what does the community of Oak Park want?
Mhm.
So that's my position, is to give them exactly what they want as they're asking and get that story out.
Now, can I ask you this just so I could know? Because I want to clearly understand, to be behind this, I want to understand exactly what is it that they want. What are the wants? What are the asks that they're asking of our officials to help provide, or people that are coming in that are looking to build and provide resources? What specifically is the community asking for?
They're specifically asking for mental illness resources.
Okay.
They're specifically asking for all of Sacramento to allow Oak Park to be a part of their business endeavors.
Okay.
I've heard that multiple times, because that's where the division happens. When you just have Oak Park and then you have Sacramento, you got Del Paso. But they're specifically asking that we can all collab, and Sacramento acknowledge all businesses as a business front.
So you do, I don't know, I'm asking real questions as an outsider. So they, as Oak Park, doesn't feel like they are
No.
included? It's not inclusive?
No, they don't feel like they're included. They feel like they're on the outskirts. They want to be able to be included. All businesses be included. And especially with the division with Oak Park, it goes as far as Del Paso Heights. It goes as far as not being able to do business in different areas. So they want to be able to break down that slavery warrior mentality and bring our real warrior mentality back, and end that gang violence, because that gang violence is also why the businesses can't communicate.
Gotcha.
It's also why the businesses can't go in different areas.
Gotcha.
So they definitely want Sacramento's help as a whole to focus on that. We've had a few business owners say that.
Now that makes sense. Now see, that's a whole nother perspective for me, and I always just have to go back to where I'm from, because we didn't have gangs where I'm from. So when I came to Sacramento, seeing the Bloods and the Crip, that was a new thing for me, So that still plays a part in the business, the background of the business. Now I see that you are advertising, or I seen the shirt that you had about coming together, the Bloods and the Crips. Now, tell me a little bit more about that and what you're doing to help with that collaboration.
Yeah, that is my clothing line, Level Up. The shirts are Change Your Focus. So change your focus is for us to literally change our focus. We have a whole oppressor killing us every day. How dare you sit and kill each other?
Right.
That's what that shirt is about.
Right.
Change your focus. You don't understand that warrior mentality with that blue, that warrior mentality with that red, that warrior mentality against that red and that red, because that's going on in Oak Park. So we need to realize that our focus is wrong. We're completely distracted right now. We're focusing on the wrong things. He's walking down the street. That's dumb. You got a whole oppressor that keeps you from moving forward in life. And you choosing to hurt and get rid of your own is saying, I'm okay with staying in the same place I've been forever. We have to elevate.
Now let me ask you, brother,
I'm
have
scared right now.
because you have a business,
Yeah.
you have a business here in the Sacramento area. Have you experienced that blood and crip thing with you doing business? Is this across the board? Because she's saying from Oak Park to DPH.
Well, it definitely is because I'm in the entertainment industry. So you got to be careful when you throw parties or have shows on which side of the tracks is going to show up.
Yeah.
I've had events where the funk got real, and had some events where it was cool, but because it was in too close to a certain area, I couldn't get part of the town to slide through. So it even goes as far as, because I've done promotions and marketing with the music industry for years here. We have 2 artists in this town that you have to choose which one you're going to play.
Right.
Now, me, I'm an asshole. You can't call me and tell me what I'm going to play and what I'm not going to play. So I'll play both artists because I'm helping the music here.
Right.
But I've been to gas stations on one part of town where somebody pulled up the music too loud and 3 dudes get up out the car and tell you, if you don't turn that down, bro, it's going to get ugly.
Right.
I understand the politics, but if LA, the city where gangs was born
Originated,
from,
right.
can get together and red
make
and
it
blue
happen.
can make green,
Exactly.
let's do this.
Let's do it.
He
But-
said that. Wait a minute. He said that red and blue can make green. I like
Let's do
that.
it. So it's
Right.
It's real difficult because, we have 2 prominent hip hop artists come out of the city,
Yeah.
and the idea is when you get on, you're supposed to get up and get out.
Yeah.
But these artists outside of town are calling shots to the kids that's living here.
This is
Right.
fact.
So it's almost kind of, I don't want to really compare it to that, but it really is because it was a joke said about how Osama bin Laden was one of the smoothest pimps in the world because he told his people to get on a plane, fly into that building. And I forgot which comedian said, he said, but you want me to get in the plane, fly into this building. So where you going to sit on the plane? Oh, no, I'm going to be right here. I'm going to be watching the news. Hold on, bruh, hold on.
Yeah, nah.
You want me to fly in the building? You going to sit in the living room?
Exactly.
The hell with
Nah,
that.
I need to be in
So-
the same.
So for them to call shots on some murder, kill shit, move back to town.
Right.
Then call them shots from here. Don't be calling shots from out of bounds. Because every one of your songs is talking about how you in the trenches, but the trenches are different when you here and you out of town. So
That's
business
so
can
true.
be bad.
That was
Business
really
business
good.
is bad here because if you do business in the P, that's how you're gonna get business from. And then you're gonna get them cats who
Speak,
we
brother.
always want the plug. But we'll go down the street to the Asian store and gotta pay full price.
Yep. This is fact.
We go to
You
Roseville
do this
Galleria
to each other.
and pay full price. But that person who has got that cool clothing line or that new restaurant or whatever it could be, you want a deal. Okay, well they had to pay for their product and they had to make it or have it shipped in and they had to wrap it and do whatever. Help them out. Get them to the point where they see you all the time. They're not going to hit you with a text. If you help and show support, you don't have to go all the way out to Roseville.
Right.
You don't have to go out of town
You
because
can
it's
literally build right there.
right there. And if you bring enough business to them,
It'll flourish just as much.
and then your whole city comes up. I mean, it's a reason why they talk about Black Wall Street.
Come on.
We put a whole town together,
Come on.
hotels,
Come
businesses, the whole thing, and it was owned and ran by us.
Yeah.
And they were so scared of it, They blew it up and killed.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
If we came up with the idea, first of all, the idea's already happened in Sacramento. It's
Yep.
Korea, a little
Chinatown.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you go down to Stockton Boulevard, they got
True.
they shit on lock.
Everywhere.
If we did
Yeah.
that, and I'm telling you, I've always said, even
And the only reason they got that because they were giving reparations for us bombing them.
yeah, and I'm saying it because I've always said, if we would just show support
Right.
like everybody else, we'd be on top.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody wants to be us.
Yep.
Mhm.
Come on. I don't
Especially-
understand.
Especially little China. Because
Right.
Come on. Come
like, I'll
on.
be, because see, this is my station,
Right.
and I can say what the fuck I want to say.
Exactly.
Say that
So when I look at my brother, I'm like, "What's up, my nigga? It's good."
Oh,
But when I
real.
walk down the street of little Chinatown and I see a dude who's 2 feet tall looking at me talking about, "What's up, my nigga?" Hold on, bruh, hold on. I don't ever see you at the family reunion. I ain't never heard about you being in the fields pulling no cotton, so we gonna ease up off that word.
Okay.
But they come together and they support each other. Their dollar cycles through their community
Exactly.
all the time.
Time, yep.
If we did that, then SAC PD has to show us
Respect.
that respect.
Exactly.
People who are hating on people who live in the neighborhoods,
Yep.
they can be pushed out.
Mm-hmm.
Money is going to come into the area that we show support. Now,
Yes.
if you want to talk about politics, let's go ahead and do the politics, because the Panthers did it. Look, I understand. Get your money.
Mhm.
Not hating. Run your hood where you run your hood. Respect where you from. Do what you do. But understand, to a certain point, you, in the position of power, have to reach back and help. Now, whether you do that together
Mhm.
or you do that in your own hoods,
Mm-hmm.
that's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go ahead and start with the basics. Do it in your hood. 'Cause Oak Park has been around for years.
Yes.
South Sac has been around for years.
Yes.
And there's businesses in both part of town
Mm-hmm.
that can be utilized and leveled up if support is shown.
Yes.
You on the block and you in the videos talking about shoot on gang, bang, bang, and I got her doing this, so I'm getting all this money.
For real.
You got the pictures with the wide and the phone, like this is the stupidest shit ever. You got a stack of
Right.
money and into your ear like it's a cell
For
phone.
real.
Dumbasses. But if you just take that money and stop buying them expensive ass belts
Mm-hmm.
and them pants that you
Invest
went,
it.
and them little bitty ass pants
Invest it.
that look like you gonna get a yeast infection on because they so tiny.
Damn.
Like I don't even understand it. And the OGs will feel me because we come up from a whole different type of era.
Uh-huh.
Like I don't even get half the shit that happened here, but I respect it because do your thizzle. I'm not mad at you, but come on, stop wearing your little sister's pants.
Right.
But if we would just show support, stop traveling out of town to go to Benihana's or
Yeah.
or some other fancy. I can't even remember what it is in Roseville, the fancy steak place, or Lucille's, a black restaurant by BB King, and the only thing that be black in Lucille's when I go there is me. It's Mexican soup, cooking soul food, huh? I get it. Get your job on, but come on, keep it some kind of real.
Yes.
But that would definitely, and I don't mean to cut you off, but
Please do.
if you are investing, those that you're speaking to, it would help with the gentrification
Yes.
because
It
we're
would.
putting
the
that
money back into our communities.
That's what we're saying. We need the ones that are rising to be able to give back. That's what he's saying.
And it's the two. I'll go back to the two. I don't want to put names because
We already know. Everybody
it's the
knows.
two. Because I've seen both parties. One is actually offered to pay for the funeral of the little girl who was shot down in the Heights last year. He called and like, I got such and such dollar amount towards the funeral. Beautiful. We got the other guy on the other side of town who, when he comes back, he goes to where the homeless is and he feeds.
He
and
does,
gets
and I was
clothes.
gonna say that. That
And-
is, I
and
give
he does
props.
it. So
Yeah.
they understand what to do. They understand where they're coming from, and they
Yes.
understand how to do it. Now, let's just work out the little shit. Now, defend your money. I can't tell you other than that. Other
Yeah,
than that.
that's the most important is
But-
the investments
but-
in our financial literacy.
But at the same time, you got to see it. We're literally giving them permission to treat us like shit.
Come on now.
To take your hood while
on
you sitting
now.
up here
Come on
repping
now.
for your hood gonna be gone.
And what's so
It's gonna be a suburb.
and what's so crazy is, and not taken away from it by any means. When Mr. George Floyd was killed, the world stood up on his feet and said,
Yep.
"That's enough."
That's enough.
Stop.
Then these motherfuckers put out a commercial for the McRib is coming back, and I ain't heard nothing
Nothing
else.
else about Floyd
And I ain't never had a McRib, and I have no desire to eat a McRib.
at all.
And this is what changed y'all motherfucking mind?
Wow.
Because Sacramento was on their shit. Like, we was walking, we was talking, we was really supporting each other. And all of a
Yeah,
sudden,
I
hey, the
remember.
McRib is coming back. And everybody went like, ooh, the McRib. Like,
No,
what
don't
the
say
fuck?
they got
Fuck
mesmerized
that.
by the McRib.
I'm going to say it was the
I don't
McRib.
want to think. It was the election. The election threw the people off.
What?
The McRib.
The election should, the election,
much.
the little Twitters and shit from that dude who how you beat the second time of
So
being
much.
put out. Like, you literally incited a riot and now you've been found not guilty?
Right.
Fuck out of here
You
with
know
that
it's
shit.
a setup.
So my whole thing is the McRib and his tweets and you know, Hot Girl Summer,
Yeah.
you know, and you know, everybody on YouTube getting their little first of all, niggas, I don't even understand y'all getting choker chains. If you got some money like that, show your chain. Don't put this shit around your neck to where you got to talk with and clear your throat. Like, fuck is that about? But you know, that's a whole different thing. But
It's a lot of diversions
But my whole
going
thing-
out.
my
Like,
whole
we
thing
could
is-
go
yeah.
on the diamond in the forehead. What the hell?
that- we gonna talk about that soon. But my whole thing is
There's a lot of diversions going
my
on
whole thing
here.
is when this whole George Floyd thing was going on, and we was walking, and we was literally going to different spots,
Right.
and we was meeting up, and we were, you know, showing our force. We were kind of getting our way,
Mhm.
and now they're like, how can we distract them for what they are doing? We got comfortable. We started being happy because we weren't getting
That was it.
treated certain ways,
Comfortable.
and we got real hush puppy,
Yep.
big lazy boy, comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
We
Yeah,
gotta
we can't.
we gotta stay on
We
our
cannot
toes
get
because
comfortable.
once they see us leading back, that's when they gonna start pushing again.
Yep.
Yes.
Because I guarantee gentrification, if we had still been pushing this line,
Man.
Yeah.
and
Man.
But
Tell
I'm-
me
I'm
about
you
glad-
hold on one more thing, and I'm gonna let you have, I'm gonna let you have your show back. You silly motherfuckers, I don't even get it.
He on his soapbox,
I'm
y'all.
on it because I've been wanting to say some shit like this.
That's
I don't
right.
get this. We go into a pandemic. Now, I'm guilty right now because I'm not wearing a mask, but everybody here done shown test results. I get tested all the time because of my job, and that shit hurts. But I'm just letting it be known, like, we go into a pandemic, and we so good and hard-headed that we don't want to wear masks. And we get so bold, we throw underground parties.
Yeah.
I was probably at one of them, though, I'll be honest. Look.
And
Yeah.
I haven't been because I do parties, and if somebody would have got sick and my name would have came up, I got to pay for it. I
Exactly.
had parties like that. I don't want to do no more like that. But for you to do that, but you won't come together and be upset. You go do the underground parties, the strip
Right.
shows, and all that shit.
Right.
Because across the country, strippers ain't lost a dime.
But you won't.
But you won't
show up.
show up to a Martin Luther King march. You guys can't march because of the pandemic. But you can go kick it that night and watch, you know, Aliza
Come on.
shake ass, and Aliza ain't really got no ass to shake.
Come on.
Fuck out of here.
Come on.
Speak.
You can't
Everybody,
just show up
if
for
you,
an hour.
if you that
to
upset that where
something.
you want to do the party because you tired of being at home and on restriction, get your ass up early. Well, like Big O Measy, get up early, go call Big O Measy. He would have walked with you. Big O Measy would have got in the middle of the street, and he would have walked all the way to the Capitol from the P, just to say, we still here,
Right.
still treat us cool. We ain't easing up because we was all gas, no brakes.
Right.
McRib, let's slow down a little bit.
Right. Well, you know, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I'm glad you got it off your chest, big bro. I'm glad you got it off your chest.
There,
Rib,
let's
y'all,
go.
rib.
I want to thank everybody because I've seen the comments and I've seen you guys that are listening in on Facebook Live, on IG
Yes.
Live. We definitely appreciate you guys tuning into our discussion here.
Yes.
This is really a serious matter, and we're having a little bit of a joking conversation, but most of what we're saying is real and to
Dead
heart.
serious.
Yes.
So I want to thank Eliza Deej, who's sitting.
Thank you
Eliza
so
Deed,
much.
excuse me, who's sitting in with us. She is a community activist here in the
Thank
Sacramento area. She is here and giving us the tea on Speak Out Oak Park.
Yes.
And I want to continue to speak with you a little bit more because I want to know what other brands have collaborated with you, if any, on the Speak Out Oak Park.
No one. It is strictly Speak Out Oak Park. We started this from the ground up, and after 7 months is when it gained traction. Everybody started calling us for interviews and newspaper interviews and things like that.
Good.
So we're moving forward now. The community is starting to hear us. The street team just started. I'm really excited about the street team
Yeah.
because we worked with community to allow that to be for young boys who are trying, or young youth who are on probation that need to put it towards community service hours. Being out with us in the street team goes towards those hours. So we're building up our
Say
youth
that one more
at the
time.
same
Where the
time.
hell
Wait,
were
wait.
you?
Say that one more time,
Where
because
the
we talking
hell
about
were
community
you
service right
I
now.
got a bullshit charge and I had to go clean that damn cemetery on Broadway.
You know, it's
Not recently, I
Maybe
hope.
10
No,
years
hell no,
later.
not recently.
I'm still ain't violating right now.
Long time ago. Long. Like when Bernie Mac was talking about, getting special
Okay.
attention, long time ago. But
they were trying to
on some
work that out right
bullshit,
now.
like I had to go and clean that damn cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
But it was on some bullshit
Yeah.
because it wasn't situations like this available.
Good cause.
Yeah, and I have a lot of youth that are on the team right now, and I'm looking for mainly the ages between of 18 and 25 if they are in a situation and need to do community service hours.
Y'all
But
hear that?
We're
I'm
Get in
Hey.
contact.
Yes.
Call, collect. This is what you gotta do.
Yes, but we are definitely creating as many programs around Speak Out Oak Park, around Oak Park community. There's so many men in the community. Shout out to Uncle Watt. Shout out to Michael Benjamin. They're doing so much for their community, for the young youth right now. So we will continue every week, Monday and Wednesday, 3 to 4, going out to the community to tell them about the organizations that we have within Oak Park, started by the Black community for our community, and the resources that are going to be provided. And so with that, we pass out Speak Out Oak Park, and we'll let people know about the gentrification as well. And then we do our hour, do about 2 blocks, really communicate with the community, and we're done. And it works.
Okay, great. Good cause. Hey, if you need community service hours, Eliza D, she's going to give her social media contact information.
Yes.
So if you need somebody in the Sacramento area that needs to knock out some hours, this is a good cause. This would definitely be something that I think you would benefit from.
Definitely.
Now, I do want to ask you this because, like I said, I do follow all the things that you do, and I know that you also contribute to the homeless.
Yes.
And is that something that also is in part of this collective thing that you're doing? Because the homeless are being
Yes.
they've been pushed out. They are out on the
Yes.
street.
Yes.
So, what's your stance there? And is this part of the Speak Out Oak Park as well? Because I know you're talking about the mental illness, and a lot of them suffer from that. That's why they're there, along with being pushed out financially.
And there's way more homeless on all the outskirts, of Oak Park and outside of Oak Park right now. We even see them at McClatchy Park, which when I first moved there, I did not see them at McClatchy Park ever, and they're actually at McClatchy Park now. So what we got Seize the Moment right now in Oak Park, who feeds the homeless. I think every day. He don't have like a certain day. He
Shout
feeds
out
the
to Seize the Homeless.
Shout out to
Okay.
Seize the Moment.
Seize the moment.
Yes, seize
Excuse
the
me.
moment. He is out there feeding the homeless all the time, all day, every day, giving some kind of resources out, being the
Great.
yes, definitely doing what he can for the community. Young boy as well, young. I think he's in his 20s, but he's definitely young out there in the community doing big
Seize
things
the
for the
moment.
community. I feed the homeless every Sunday with the choir, but we go to different cities because Sacramento has the biggest homeless support. So the choir goes to different cities every Sunday and feeds for about 3 to 5 hours.
Dope. I just wanted to put a little spotlight on that, just so you can know what this lady is all about. You know, it's not just about something that impacted her in her, living situation.
This is all around.
This is what she does. She actually is in the community, and she's actually looking out for the people as a whole. It just so happened to hit home
Definitely.
with you. So I wanted to kind of shine a spotlight on that as well.
Definitely.
Now, I do want to talk about, just so people understand, with the Speak Out Oak Park and the gentrification, ways to solve it, because we know it's not going anywhere.
No.
It is here to stay.
It's here to stay.
What would be some ways that you think that it can be solved, including us, not pushing out the minority, but including us? What can the officials or the other, the opposition do to help us? What are we asking for?
Oh man, we're not asking for anything. That's the thing. We're asking for complete. We just want to be equal. We want to be decent. We want our human being to be a right. That's simple. And with Oak Park specifically, in regards to what we're asking them for, is to stop gentrifying. If you're gonna gentrify, access our piece. Ask us how we feel about it. Ask the communities that you're thinking of gentrifying, which Stockton Boulevard about to be gone.
Yeah.
They need to talk to them. They need to go to them and ask them specifically. But what they do is that they say, hey, what do you want to see happen for your area? And then they tally up these certain amount of people that they've asked, and they say, cool. So a part of our strategizing plan, we did that part. So let's continue with our plan. And they don't focus on that at all. Because to create affordable housing price of $35 to $38 an hour, you ain't talk to nobody.
Right. So when we talk about inclusiveness, we're talking about when they're gentrifying, which we know is not going to stop. We know it's not.
Never.
But when you're doing this, if you would get the opinion of the people, of all the people, not just the on my other side of my hand. But if you would, if you would ask everyone in the community, what are their thoughts of how they want to see the community rise, because of course minorities want to have all these nice things in their community as well. We want the nice restaurants and the nice stores and all of that, nice housing and nice lawn and all, you know, the roads nice and paved. Yes, we want that too. But
with sitting in these city meetings, I don't think we can't ask them anything anymore. I don't think asking them is the proper way to go about this. I think the only way to get anything done now is to become the revolution and then take it back.
Right.
The only way we can do is to allow gentrification and compromise with it is to become financial literate.
Yeah.
We have to understand on how to turn our money around.
Right.
We need to also stop trying to be individual and come together and buy some land together. We need to come together and buy little specks of homes so that we can get our brothers and sisters of our same race off the street and into a home. And then we need to be able to put more realtors of our own in our communities.
Yeah.
And our realtors of our color also need to be informed on when houses go on the market, because that's also what's going on with Oak Park. They don't inform them of the houses that are going on the market. And half of the houses that go on the market, they keep off the market and keep the information shadowed while they text, hey brother, I got a house open. So that's what's going on right now. We need more of us seeing this as important and just boom in the streets. Like a lot of our businesses in Oak Park recently were just taken away from us. And that's because we have white landlords. That's because we didn't know how to handle our business correctly. We need to start utilizing these actual resources there's plenty of, education, literacy, and sitting in them and learning how to turn our money around. Everybody in the hood, every gang member, everybody out there selling weed is a businessman.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So they need
That's in our DNA.
Yes, it's in our DNA.
That's in our day.
So they need to start, they themselves out there, that's a job. You can start teaching your community on how to turn around the way you do.
Right. What I would like to see though, because what you're speaking of, I actually went to it was a seminar that Kevin Johnson put on. I don't know if you've heard about it, and I wish I could think of the name off the top of my head, but Kevin Johnson actually did a seminar speaking to exactly what you're talking about and how to get the dollars. He had all of these different access. Now, the catch of it was, the only thing I didn't like about it, because he spoke to everything that you're speaking of, the catch was, as with everything, you have to invest some money into even getting access to these programs and information. I feel that it needs to be easily, readily available, and a given.
Definitely.
I like what Kevin Johnson was doing with the financial literacy. He talked about, I mean, it was like a 45-minute seminar I attended. Great information that they had at that big church there in Oak Park. Great information, St. Paul. Great information, I loved it. And then at the end, it was about collecting the dollar.
Yeah.
Now, we all know we do have to invest in ourselves, true indeed. But right now, where we are in this, not necessarily just in the pandemic, but where we are with the gentrification and with your black brothers and sisters, this should be something that you should give freely to help educate, because you know that we lack
and
that.
And there's a grip of education programs are free in Oak Park right now, offering that same program.
See, and I think, and I'm with you there 100%, because I feel like that, because we know it's not going to stop, but I think those tools would definitely help us to be inclusive and not push out that culture and the minority. Because that's what's needed. That's like you guys said, that is what they are coming for. Prime real estate and the culture that we bring there.
Yes.
The people that's there, they really, a lot, you know, when you think about the gentrification that's happened, like in Oakland and San Francisco,
I feel, man, the Bay Area, boy, they are under attack.
People
as well,
come there for
gentrification.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
And now you want to push that
They
out.
want to wipe it away.
Yeah.
And that's something right there that you can actually, we can fight this. I have no lack of passion and faith in my people. This is something that we can fight. We can do. You have to be ready though, and it's a choice now. It's a choice.
Yeah.
I have no lack of faith in them. If we stand up, and it's only the ones though that are going to choose. The ones that are that want to lag and not make up their mind, that's their choice. That's that crowd. But those that want to make the choice to be better, actually make change, be a revolution, stand in the front line, say no, we're not going to allow this to happen anymore. It can change, but there's so much fear that goes within the black community that is the biggest. It is the biggest parasite within our people is fear.
Yeah.
They will allow so much to happen to them, and I just don't understand it. I don't have that fear. I have no ounce of fear. I am a frontliner for my people, and I just really want them to stand up and realize that because, but
Willie Lynch
it's
syndrome.
positive because even with Speak Out Oak Park, they're choosing to stand up. That's a form of standing up when you talk.
Yes.
Because there's so many that have chosen not to talk, so I applaud that.
And another thing I want to see, this is my personal opinion because I've been affected by gentrification. That's how I end up being here in Sacramento. And thank you guys for loving me and accepting me here in Sacramento.
Yeah.
I love Sacramento.
We love you.
Yeah, about the Bay coming to Sacramento, fucking up
But
traffic.
yeah, so I'm part of this gentrification. What I would like to see is the people that are coming in offer better, easier renting options.
Yes.
Or buying options.
Yes.
Especially now with this pandemic and the
Yes.
COVID impact,
Yes.
it would be great to see that being part of the change.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm putting that out in the universe that something like that comes about with this whole, I hope, I don't put all my eggs in one basket with the Biden, Kamala administration, but I hope that is something that, is looked upon from on a local level, our leaderships on a local level, knowing that they want to come in and make some change. That would be a great change.
It would be,
It
Lord
would
have
be,
mercy.
But because
But
think
it's-
about this
But
though.
it's people.
Wouldn't it all be positive?
But
It's so many
what our
people
problem is-
impacted by the COVID, like that's mortgages that's losing their homes. We got right now they have the moratorium or whatever you call it for people
Rent.
with the rent.
And
I mean they
evictions.
have that. So what's going to be the next level to that?
Yeah.
What's
agreed.
next? Because you can't
But
just
we're
drop
not-
it off.
We're not looking into that. It's always been said if you want to hide something from the black man, put it in the book.
Yeah.
Bingo.
So now, we so wrapped up in the pandemic and wearing masks and the underground parties and all this shit, we haven't realized, which I was guilty of it. Gavin Newsom has a situation where he has first right to people's houses
Yeah, he
when
gotta
they've been
go.
evicted.
Yeah, I can't rock with him.
So you get evicted out of your house because you haven't been able to work,
Mm-hmm.
and the little $600 didn't
And
make
then
you
he
ball
get
out
to
of
pocket
control.
it.
Right.
When you get kicked out of your
He
house,
gets to pocket it.
it's on the market for so long, and like she said, they're not putting it out there that it's open. He gets that house.
Yep. This
Cold
is
game.
what's going on amongst us. yo.
Shout out Coach Jackson for that information.
This is what's going on amongst us. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And that stuff right there, we can't stop. We're not going to be able to
No.
stop that. This is manipulation. This is the evil that they do amongst themselves, that the white wigs and the electoral been doing for years. It's been passed down to their
Right.
generations. Everybody in politics is family members
Yep,
of each other.
exactly.
So this is
Even
never going to
Obama.
change. Yes.
Yeah.
So this is never going to change, but our locals is what we can focus on. Our locals is what we can change. Our communities that have been small net, that our elders are still in, Oak Park has black power. They can definitely rise and take it back. And this is an opportunity to speak out for that. I really
Absolutely.
truly believe that.
I do as well. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming to the Queen's table and we are able to have a roundtable discussion. It definitely fills my heart with joy to kind of bring it back to this.
Yes.
So I hope that you guys enjoy the conversation as well. We have Eliza Deed in the village.
Everybody. Hello, hello.
Community activist here, and she is on the verge. She is making things happen with the movement, the Speak Out Oak Park movement. I want you to share all your socials, how people can get in contact. Remember, she talked about community service. You know, so I know my people. I know there's a few people out there that need them community service hours. So if you love the movement and what's going on, get at her.
Make your hours count.
Make them count.
Definite.
Yes.
And all we do is talk, y'all. Make it count.
Make your hours count.
And network.
Yes.
You're able to network because, you know, once you jump in this thing, you just don't know. You actually might grow a passion for it.
Yeah.
And the people you network with might incite something in you that you didn't
Definite.
even
Might
know.
keep your ass from going to get some more community hours.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So share your social and all that good stuff.
Yes. So you can find Speak Out on Facebook while it's up. Speak Out Oak Park on Facebook.
She said, while it's up.
While it's up on Speak Out Oak
Have
Park.
they been putting you in jail?
Yes, they have. They've actually called me a terrorist because of Speak Out Oak Park and my protest against housing. So Facebook has called me a terrorist, but allowed a white man to be terroristic to a whole nation. But we ain't gonna go there. But displayed. But yeah. So you can
I
find
can't
us.
even get a profile that's been
Tell
hacked.
me. Tell me.
Come on over here so my people can see you.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can find me on Speak Out Oak Park on Facebook, and then on Instagram, SOOP, Speak Out Oak Park as well. You can see the updates. We'll have the YouTube up pretty soon because the promo premiere for the trailer is February 22nd at 6 p.m. That's next Monday. I can't wait for the community to see it. So we're about to push this campaign, get Speak Out Oak Park, and save our brothers and sisters' lives and our housing and our mental traumas. We need to heal. So we're about to get this together. And I ask of you guys from this to pay attention to the stories, educate yourselves of what's going on within Oak Park, educate yourself on my story, what's going on within 10th Avenue in Oak Park. All of this is on my page. You can find me as Eliza Deed on Facebook, Instagram, Pure Serenity _143. Man, just tune in, get active, and come and get them community service hours.
It's almost scary that you gave them the drop date.
February 22nd is
'Cause,
real.
If your pages disappear on that day, I don't know what's gonna happen. It should be an issue and a problem.
We got backups.
We got backup pages. Don't even worry about
We got
it.
backup pages for sure. We got backup supporters, and we definitely gonna make this happen, y'all. I completely stand in the gap. I want to say this. I completely stand in the gap for Oak Park. This is not something that I can walk away from. I've prayed about it, and it continues to happen. So I stand in the gap completely for you and for your stories. Out of all Sacramento, you guys are the most necessary. Why? Because you guys are a unit. On paper, you are not allowed to be here. So I stand in the gap for you, and we will change. It may be small changes, but we're going to show some progress together with God's support, because we ain't doing this without him.
That's right. That's
Do
right.
nothing without 'em.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that information. Again, Eliza Deed, you guys, we definitely welcome her, and we look forward to having you come back
Definitely.
to the Queen's table. And I definitely want to thank my brother, Shadow, for sitting in with us tonight on
Yes.
the Queen's table.
Shout out to my black AV tech, Chevy,
Yes, Chevy. Shout out.
co-creator.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
We appreciate you and all the energy that we have in the place today. I want to make sure that you guys tune in next week. I do have drip sessions. I actually have Playboy Shiggity from Vallejo. He's going to be pulling up. And he got a new thing going on. He's doing some entrepreneurial things happening. So make sure that you tune in tomorrow. Thursday, 8 p.m. The Queen's Table on hype-radio.com. I got it.
I was waiting. Get it straight.
It's in my memory, baby. All right, you guys. Peace, love, and positive energy. You guys enjoy the rest of your week. We are out.
Out. Speak out. Love y'all. Good job, y'all. Y'all, very good. Levi over there.
Almost
Laughing
sleep.
at right? Right?